Hey, I'm Dave. Welcome to Hammered Ironworks. Gonna work on putting this roof rack on top of this here Expedition today. Wish me luck, I'm gonna need some. So in the last episode of this build, I had just put on the light bar on the front of it and it was on the ground. This time I had a little bit of help because the first time I tried putting this up on the roof of the vehicle, it didn't go so well. Okay, yeah, this might work. Yeah, it might work. Yeah, that seemed to be pretty good. That was fine. Yeah. But with a little bit of help from the right people, things go a little better. Perfect. So I'll bring you right over here and show you what I got going on to try to mount this up on here, and you can maybe start to get up in my Dave brain and figure out what's happening. So I slid the roof rack over so you can see this factory channel right here, and what I did is I got some of the little factory nut clips that slide right into this track wherever I want them. Those are actually new old stock, come in nice dirty dusty packages, but brand new. They're made to slide up in this roof channel, this roof track, and then I just got some rusty bolts right now. I'll probably get the right length eventually. That'll give me an actual anchor point to hold the roof rack down onto this. So I looked up the rating. This is rated to hold some pretty good weight, especially evenly distributed, and it's on a stiff platform. So I'm gonna have probably 3 mounting points on one side, 3 on the other. Now I gotta figure out a way to actually make a little bit of a standoff of this tubing. Wobble wobble. Make a standoff of this tubing to mount to those little nut plates that slide up in there. That's where the engineering comes in. So current plan is to take this little piece of cardboard, make a template for the side profile of square tube. I'll put square tube that actually just stands off, welded up underneath this tube, and has a cutout notch where I'll make a pattern for it right there to sit down in this shelf right here and bolt to those little nut plates that slide up into this roof track. Then a bolt can go down through inside the square tube. That's the plan, sort of. Pattern. Trace. So I'm gonna try this whole new idea, like clamping everything almost correctly. That seemed to work. So now I'm just gonna cut out that hump I've got to cut out, or maybe you call it the anti-hump, to go up over that ridge that's built into that roof rack. You'll notice that I struggle to talk and think while I'm drawing. Sorry. So I would say that is success. And of course, my whole rack is gonna sit a little bit lower than how I have it blocked up right now. But then I have a hole here, and with that slash cut, I'll have access to put a little retaining screw in there and clamp it down. So through the magic of editing and, advancing time, I was able to do a mock-up over here of that one. And this one, I've got it shimmed and spaced out there somewhere. And I think I'm gonna take and tack these in, and those will be my 2 fronts, which are setting up for centering and the right height. Then I'll make the rest of them in the back. So if I was smart, I would turn off the fan so I didn't have any sort of like porosity in my weld. I'd clean everything up before I welded it. And yeah, I'm pretty well past that. I'd also protect my windows so I wouldn't get any welding spatter on them. And I'm not doing that. Oh yeah, the paint, I'd protect that too. Not happening. So looking this all over, all right, wait a minute, don't worry. I wipe my feet, there's no dirt here. I won't scratch the roof of this sweet ride. But anyway, I think I'm gonna use a solid piece to go across the back, and that's gonna give me some structure to put the big heavy spare tire back here. So I'm gonna actually measure up for that, cut a piece of solid square tube, and basically not put those little standoffs like I was gonna do everywhere. Design change. So I've cut this out. It fits across the whole span of the roof rack. Now I'm gonna drill a larger access hole to then a smaller hole down at the bottom that will basically allow me to slide a bolt down in through there and tie it into that whole sliding nut feature. Alright, so I got a cut, I got the bigger hole. I know you guys are gonna tease me about my cheesy little hardware here, so go ahead, tease me. Actually, go ahead, leave a whole bunch of comments. That'll help a guy out. When the old YouTube sees the comments, then suddenly they start spreading that stuff around. That's what we need to do, spread this garbage around. Wait a minute, stop the bus. I forgot to notch out that little lump relief. Man, all right, out we go. Okay, so now I've got it notched out. I've got my bigger hole, I've got it cinched down, and I've got the same over here. Then I've got a little bit of wobbly right there. I'll take and make sure I press down as I take and just buzz weld that in a little bit, tack it. Then obviously I gotta work on my middle mounts somewhere here. And then bring the whole thing back down and weld it up solid. So I've tacked in these middle pieces now. I think it's almost time to pull this thing back off and weld it up solid. I figure I could use this little roller wheel trick again. See if that works for coming off a little better than it did going on last time. Oh yeah, this might work. Maybe. Perfect. We are. So my plan now is to just flip this every which way and weld everything up. So I'm putting a crossbar in, may have to get some expanded metal to put in the floor of it. Hate to spend money, but I kind of want to make it a usable setup. I don't know, gotta put some structure in maybe for that tire and those gas cans. We'll see, I'm just gonna keep going until it looks like I'm done. So here's a pro tip. I'm taking these old loader chains and I'm cutting off some of these oval links, cut them in half. Cut them in half and you weld them to your tubing, and then you've got something that one of these ratchet straps, the more rugged ones with the little double fold over hooks, will fit into, or just the single. And then weld them all around the perimeter. So I've kind of laid out all those chain links sort of where I want them to go. I'll try to space them out evenly. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to have hook points, and that is the goal. Okay, a little bit tedious work, but I mean, once it's here, it's here. Perfect. Now like 25 or 6 or 7 left to go. So again, fast forward magic. Look, got all these things on here. All the way around. I've got all kinds of hook points to tie anything on the roof of this thing. So now I'll probably just start to look over all my welds, clean things up. I got to clean up a butt weld up here, and basically call that good until I get some expanded metal for like the floor. Or do you call it the floor if it's on the roof? I don't really know. So fast forward a few days, that stuff is expensive. I needed some expanded metal and I bought some. And man, did I pay up. And there it is. Look at all those pretty little holes. So for space-saving reasons, I put everything up here that I was working on. Now it's time to bring it down. So it occurred to me as I was engineering my split level floor, roof, liner, I don't know what you call it. I want to make this section from here to here actually higher, and then from there all the way to the front lower. So my transition piece is going to be this crossbar, which I'm just starting to fashion up, and I just kind of like angle cut the edges so I can weld it in. This crossbar will also be the second support for my big spare tire that sits right about there. Hello? Can you hear me now? Yep. Okay, so I don't know the best way to cut this stuff, but I'm gonna take this here cut-off wheel, you know, on my grinder, and kind of go down a mark that I gave myself at the right measurement for one of those levels of that floor. I did weld in that cross piece, and so it should be ready to accept it. Just leave a comment if I'm yelling. Those comments, I like to hear them, please. Ta-da! So I just expertly measured this, you know, with a marker and an eyeball, and cut it all out so it fits around the perimeter to give me my front section of the floor, which is the lowest part once it's flipped over. Having said all that, I just realized that I have approximately 3,293,000,000 spot welds to now do. That was a design flaw. Expanded metal may not be the best. So all these spot welds are gonna kill me, and I forgot to hit record, so I'll do a reenactment. Drink, drink, drink. Yeah, ×2. So want to make this expanded steel tight. I made a little quick and dirty tool. It's got a little hook in the end. Found it in the scrap pile. I just basically put it in there any old place, and kind of like, you know, do do one of these numbers. Holes are all nice and tight, so I can get a weld in. Okay, so I got them all spot welded in. Let's count them. What's that? 1, 2, skip a few, 28,000, 3 million, 30 million, 300 million, yep, all of them.
Yo, Dave, what's up? Check out that rack. That is sweet. Like, Dave, you ever gonna build another one of those?
Do this again? Nah.
What if I paid some sweet money? How much money?
No amount of money. Not doing it ever again.
Maybe you just need to think about it, man.
Huh, let me think about it. No.
Was that expanded metal the answer?
I would not recommend it.
Aw, come on, man. You know you'll make another one.
Not happening.
The people want it, man. You gotta build another one.
Nope.
Dave, it's so sweet.
Nope.
But was it cheap?
Well, let me think about it. No.
Man, I guess, but I really want you to make me one.
Alright, so I'm gonna shoot you straight. This right here kicked my butt because of all the little spot welds and trying to keep the mesh as tight as I could, or mesh or expanded metal. Man, I'm telling you what, it was not something I'm gonna do again. As you heard me tell my neighbor when he swung in, you know, the dude with the mullet. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I've brought it to this point where I've got everything welded up. I've cleaned everything up weld-wise. I've taken and cleaned everything up pretty much for paint. So I'm gonna call it here on this video. Unfortunately, there's gonna be part 3 where I paint it, put it on the roof, wire it up with lights and junk and strap stuff down, and then call it project done. I just haven't quite got there yet. I'll show you up close how it looks. So a little walk around video of non-award winning welds. However, they get the job done. And if you look at what this thing is going on, you know, right over there, it doesn't need to win any awards. That is for sure. Anyway, that concludes this video. Time to paint it and install it. Oh yeah, don't forget to stay cheap, cheesy, and crafty. We'll see you in the next video.